How about Dr. Phil sitting down with Donald Trump this week? Now, you realize how big that is? In fact, they posted the interview everywhere, including TikTok. And apparently, TikTok blocked a promo for the interview. Dr. Phil, many people are going to say is pretty shocking. Dr. Phil is a guy that maybe people thought was on the left. I don't know why they would have thought that. I mean, he's a good old boy from Texas. I always kind of thought Phil was conservative. I did his show once, incidentally. Remember that years ago? I went off. They flew me out to L.A. It was I don't even remember. It was a panel on race. And all I remember is I met the women from the Real Housewives of New Jersey, which was so weird, so surreal. But it was a kind of an interesting experience to be on the Dr. Phil show. He was he sprung into national prominence as Oprah's doctor. The pandemic happened. He put those shrill harpies from The View in their place. Now he's calling out Biden's warfare from the Department of Justice. And this week he interviewed Donald Trump. And the left is going berserk. In just 24 hours, where Trump joined TikTok, Trump became 6 times more popular than Joe Biden overnight. So the app rejected a promo for the Dr. Phil interview. And there were moments during the interview that are so funny. I got to play the clip about the watermelon head. What clip is that? You got that, Christian? Here's Trump describing California Congressman Adam Schiff to Dr. Phil. Now, the joy of this is watching Phil attempt to maintain a straight face. The real gold in this clip is looking at the look on Dr. Phil's face. He's trying not to crack up. This is classic Trump and a subdued Dr. Phil trying his best not to break out laughing.
These are not stupid people. I call him Watermelon Head. He's got the thinnest neck I've ever seen, how it holds up that head. He's got a neck that's about a size 6. Very unattractive guy, both inside and outside. And people say, oh, that's such a terrible thing to say. That's okay. Very unattractive guy. Here's the thing. These are bad people.
I mean, how do you not love this guy? Honest to goodness, how do you just not love that? I'm sorry. And if you hate him, I guess that flies all over you. If you have some degree of respect for Adam Schiff, you're probably offended. I mean, come on. That's funny. He's got a size 6 neck. How does that little neck hold up that big watermelon head? That's a president. It's a 45th president of the United States. I mean, what are they going to do? Tracy just shared with me, my producer, that Joe Rogan evidently is considering having Trump on. Now, can you imagine what the left will do if Joe Rogan sits down? Dr. Phil, the Dr. Phil conversation is so important because it legitimizes Trump in a way that they can't stand him being legitimized. That's what they can't stand. Here's what he said. Phil, everybody's asking Trump about revenge, retribution. I got into the hotel last night, and I was channel surfing, and I came across some young woman who's on now at like 10 o'clock at night on CNN. I don't even know what her name is. She's one of the worst interviewers I've ever seen, ever. CNN wonders why they're losing so badly. Maybe they ought to hire some talented people. Anyway, she's interviewing Dr. Phil. For some reason, Dr. Phil went on CNN. And he was trying to kind of hedge his bets a little bit about his interview with Trump. And Phil made it clear that he doesn't like the idea of revenge or retribution. That came up in his interview with President Trump this week.
I think you have so much to do, you don't have time to get even. You only have time to get right.
Well, revenge does take time, I will say that.
It does.
And sometimes revenge can be justified, Phil. I have to be honest. Sometimes it can.
But is the country better or worse for them going after you?
I think the country is really worse for what they've done, and I think you see that when you look at the poll numbers. When you see that almost $400 million has poured in since this horrible decision was made. That was a few days ago. Numbers that nobody's ever heard of in politics before.
Now, first of all, kudos to Dr. Phil McGraw for sitting down with Donald Trump, because he's going to pay a heavy price. I guarantee you. They're losing their minds because Dr. Phil legitimized Donald Trump. You want to know why he did it? I can guarantee you why he did it. I don't have any inside knowledge. Phil wants Trump to win. I guarantee you. He says he doesn't. He says he's neutral. He doesn't know about politics. He's just an aw shucks good old boy. No. He's a Trump supporter. Guarantee you. Guarantee you. He would never have extended the invitation and sat down for a lengthy, extensive interview with Donald Trump. And I urge you to find that interview. I'm sure it's all over the place on social media, whatever. But this is a big deal. Good things are coming. Positive things are happening. And we're going to win on November the 5th.